Okay, my friends. So here's a visual. I tried to use the same colors as the article had of an 8 song playlist. So this is really simple. 8 songs, 4 songs from the blue artist, 2 songs from the orange, and 2 songs from the green. Okay, so this is going to generate many, many, many orders between song 1 and song 8. We're going with the shuffle, hearing every song once, and then never hearing it again until the 8th song is done. So here's one possible order. There's another possible order. There's another possible order. So you can see that what's happening is sometimes, oh, that was kind of a fun one. I wish I'd stopped. Oh, there's a fun one too. Here we saw the 2 greens, the 2 oranges, and the 4 blues. But usually, we get some kind of a mix. They're usually not all next to each other sometimes, but there always seem to be some kind of groupings, which is kind of the point of this question. Oh, that's kind of fun. 4 blues, 2 oranges, 2 greens. So right away, we're kind of starting to see what happens with random numbers, right? They tend to clump. They tend to clump. I haven't yet seen one where it just changes each time. Now, speaking of that, we're going to go over to this next little tab here. This keeps track of what are known as runs. A run in statistics is any group of items that are the same next to each other. So, for example, in this particular playlist of 8 songs right here, the longest run being 2 here indicates these 2 green ones right next to each other. That's a run because you got the same artist 2 in a row. So that's a run of the green artist. Let's randomize again. Okay, here again, longest run was 2. The longest stretch we had with the same artist was 2. Song 3 and song 4 were both blue. Once again, longest run was 2. Once again, longest run was 2. I'm trying to get one that's not 2. There we go. There's one where the longest run is 3. Song 6, 7, and 8 are all the same artist. That means that puppy dog has a run of 3, and that's the longest one we see here. Now, the longest, oh, cool. We actually saw this. This was what I was hoping for before. This is where every single song is from a different artist. That means the longest run is 1 because you never hear a repeated artist right next to itself. All right. So the shortest possible run, as you can see, is 1. I'm trying to stop it now because we saw a couple before where the longest run is 4. And that would be all of the blue songs in a row. Man, we got so many of them in that last sheet. Maybe we're not going to see them. Did I just go by one? I was so busy looking at the longest. Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter because over here, I've got the spreadsheet keeping track of how or what the longest possible run is out of 8 songs. So hopefully you do realize that the shortest run we can have is 1. And we saw that before. That's when all the artists are different song after song after song. It only happened that one time that we saw, but according to this graph, it's happened 3 times and we just didn't notice the other 2 times. Very often we see runs of 2, very, very often. Sometimes we see runs of 3, and occasionally we saw runs of 4. We did see quite a few of those. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to re-randomize over and over and over and over, and I'm going to let the spreadsheet track it over here in this table. So I'm going to hold this puppy dog down and let it go, and then we're going to speed things up, and we're going to get a large number of re-randomizations, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, my friends, so this is a pretty good set of data right here. We got a lot of data in the bar graph, but let's take a look at this other side of the spreadsheet over here. The right side of this spreadsheet is keeping track of the percent of time certain number of longest runs happen. So I'm just going to stop it here because I think now we've stabilized at this point. So in other words, if we think about it, only 6% of the time was 1 the longest run. What does that mean? Only 6% of playlists are going to have the songs changing artists every single time. So blue, orange, green, red, blue, orange, green, whatever. 58% of the time, 58% of the time, we saw a longest run of 2. If you think back to the little test that the author gave in the exam right above when you watch this video, he called that line 1. That was the longest run of 2. There were 2 blues in a row. Okay. 3 happened 29% of the time. As a matter of fact, if you look at our sheet right now, that's actually what you're looking at. There's a run of 3 right there in songs 3, 4, and 5. And last but not least, a run of 4 only happens 6% of the time. It's basically the same as having a run of 1. This was what we saw in line 2 of the author's little test. So what you're going to do is you're going to analyze his claim. In a random shuffle, you're just as likely to get a maximum run of 2 as you are to get a maximum run of 4. And that's what you're going to do in the next few questions. So try those now.